No new introductions this morning. Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda, which includes our minutes and monthly financial report? The minutes are in the April box, and the financial report is in the June box.
Move to approve, Jim.
Second, Marta.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Didn't hear from Heather or Jason. You guys?
I
Yeah.
said aye. Heather
Okay.
said aye.
I can't see right now. All right. So the main thing we have to talk about today is hiring executive director. And I've thought about this a little bit, and I'd like to speak a little bit first and then listen to your ideas. So my thought is that we want to hire someone and provide a structure whereby they will stay and grow with the organization. I think it's vital to the organization that we have some continuity at this point. And so in order to achieve that goal, I think we could offer compensation that will attract someone who has the qualifications that we're looking for. And then there are other things that we could do to create incentives to grow within the organization. So for the starting package, I've been doing some research with, actually Deb did some research for us, and I spoke with the folks at Habitat about insurance. And Deb shared a quote that she got for her own business. Can you see this this document here? It should say, I'm not sure if I'm sharing the right screen. It should say agent link in the right, top right. Okay, let me go back to share screen.
Yeah, we're looking at the agenda currently.
Cool, but just give me a second. I'm trying to get there. New share, there we go. So I'm not sure if there's anyone who's better reading this than I am, but if we were to provide insurance, that there are these different kinds of plans which are represented in each of the columns. And then the number at the bottom is the amount that the land bank would be responsible for. And this is through these are all, health insurance options through the exchange. And so if we wanted to, provide a plan with, a relatively reasonable level of coverage, we're looking at somewhere from between, $100 a month to $253 a month. I think that that's something that we can do.
Is this just healthcare or is it dental, vision? Do you know?
This is just healthcare.
Just healthcare. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know that much about it, but I know from the Cardinal Greenway that with one employee being covered, it's like we don't have a organizational plan. Basically, we increased the employee's salary so that basically they're buying their health insurance and being covered by an increase in salary by the Greenway.
That
That's actually pretty common
practice for small organizations because the reason why employers actually give you healthcare is because they have like 1,000 employees. So they go to like a healthcare company or a health insurance company and they're like, hey, we've got X amount of employees and it's hundreds of employees.
Yeah.
We can pretty much guarantee you like 80% of them are going to buy into your service. And so they are able to give a service to that employer at a discounted rate because they can guarantee so many employees. Smaller organizations do a lot of times either fend for yourself or what Marta said. They look at the cost of insurance and they give them kind of a wage plus like health insurance stipend or health insurance like bonus kind of thing. But they then go out and they do the coordination of the plan they want and the payment.
So let me ask you this. Do you think it makes sense to talk about the overall compensation instead of talking about, instead of talking about a health insurance plan and the compensation?
The question becomes, John, who's going to manage that then? Who's going to stay on top of the healthcare plan? I think what I'm hearing, it's a lot easier if you let the employee do that.
Yep.
And then we don't have to be involved in it. You give them some amount of money. And maybe that's spelled out separately. I don't know if you can do that in their wage. It's separately and it's adjustable.
I don't
upon
think
the
so.
healthcare.
I think you set a salary and,
So it's all inclusive.
but
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. But otherwise, somebody has to sit and manage
yeah.
day to day or whatever. Are these
Yeah.
good?
Yeah, that's a good point too about the management. Like, I think that on our end, like on the employer end, it's just going to come to them at the salary, right? But
Right.
on our end, we're going to be like, here's X amount of money for the work. Here's X amount of money they'll need monthly to do health insurance. And if we were to do that for anything else, then we would just total that. And then that total would turn into their salary.
I'm fine with that. But then I think that we should be talking about a level of compensation that's, acknowledging that they're paying for insurance out of their own pocket.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
Can
what
you add up? Can you add up the number then? What would a policy cost somebody? Does anybody know? If you went out and had to buy it
It's hard to
yourself?
read this screen share.
I know.
Is this document in the box? Oh my gosh.
That's a lot of money. So if I'm reading this right, John or Debbie put this together, that's almost $900, right? Monthly?
No, it's the bottom number.
That's the bottom number we would contribute or the bottom number?
Yes, so the subsidy is what comes from, wait.
Because I thought the way it was broke down, the monthly cost of this policy is $900, of which the employee would pay X and the employer would pay Y. Maybe I'm reading this wrong.
So you're saying that
That's the number I thought.
it's the combination of the two.
Hey, stop moving the screen. I
I,
can't do math. Wait.
and from what I've heard from others who buy their own policy, that's not out of the question. You're talking a lot of money. I mean, it's 800, that's almost $10,000.
Yeah, that's what this breakdown is. This breakdown is the monthly cost, the employer amount, and the employee amount.
Mhm.
So if we're going to do it the way we've just discussed, that red number is the number that's going to cost the plan.
Right.
The red number, I thought that would be in the first one here, I thought it would be, we would pay $637 and they would pay $0.
That's if we were managing the health
Right.
insurance plan. If we're going to let them coordinate and purchase, they're going to come out of pocket for $637.32.
For that
Okay, yeah,
particular
so
plan.
that's
Yeah.
the two added right there.
Yeah,
it's
that's what I was
somewhere
doing math. I
between-
was checking the numbers.
So somewhere between 7,500, depending on what plan you're on, to $10,000. So,
Yeah.
come in, you're single, you're not married, you don't have a family, you buy a cheap policy. Over the years, you increase the policy.
Maybe instead of us going to either extreme, like a Chevette or Cadillac plan, what if we just kind of middle road this a little bit? And then if they can get away with a little less, that's on them. That's good on them.
Mhm.
And if they have to get away with a little more, I mean, I don't know what to say about that.
Yeah, so to me, it's like, we don't know exactly what they'll want. That's sort of not
Right.
what we're doing here. To me, it's like we're saying as a board that for our executive director, we will be compensating them in a manner that will allow them to provide their own insurance, whatever that
Right.
number may be, because these are all set up like family deductible. You know, if they're single, they don't need
Right.
that. So I don't think we should sit here and figure out exactly which
Mm.
one would apply. What we should do is say that we will provide compensation in an amount that would allow them to provide their own health insurance.
And I like Brad's thought about averaging
Yeah,
somewhere between the high and the low,
yeah,
which is
Yeah.
going to come around $600-800, whatever that might be.
yeah.
$800 a month. So just get my calculator out here.
9,600 a year. So if we were paying our previous executive 40, we might as well just say that we're going to pay the new executive 50 with that understanding on our end that, you know, about $10,000 of it's really for their health insurance.
Yep. There's another consideration, just to be clear, which is that we're going to be paying payroll taxes on the new employee.
Right.
So that's an additional cost.
To us,
Does Whittinger know how to
yeah.
like calculate that in the future, like predict that cost?
Did you see Heather's note?
I just did, yeah.
I was under the impression that we were hiring an administrator and that we would be looking for an executive director at a later date. Is that incorrect?
I thought we were hiring the job description that we've been circulating, I believe, says executive director.
It says administrator at the top, and that's what the Facebook says.
I've not seen it, so I can't comment.
Well, I think that we're hiring a sole employee who would perform all of the functions of the land bank in the near term. We're not hiring someone with the idea that we're going to hire someone else in 6 months, regardless of what you call it.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. Are we looking at, so an average would be $800 a month for the health insurance? I missed that conversation.
Yeah, roughly.
Thank you.
That's my understanding, yeah. Did you all see Annette's note though about being a chamber member?
I did. Yeah, that was something that I had wanted to look into. That was something that the Habitat folks mentioned. If you're a chamber member, you can get in on a policy that's cheaper.
On our, just for a note, on our Facebook and website, we're calling it the Muncie Land Bank Administrator. That's what the job description says. And in Annette's note, it says between 2 and 50. So does that mean you have to have a minimum of 2 employees?
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
All right, so Brad put out a number that was 50. What do you all think about that?
We were originally doing 40, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the average is over 75. We're assuming over 7,500 or 8,000, right? For insurance.
What's our minimum call,
Minimum what?
minimum qualification?
Oh,
Is it bachelor's degree? Is there a degree required? Is there a
There's no degree
certification?
required.
No degree required.
Mhm.
Any certifications required?
No, no.
why
Well,
don't
I
we
mean, I was,
require a degree?
Pardon?
Why don't we require a degree?
because I can imagine applicants who have long experience working in the field that would be more qualified than applicants. Some of the master's students I've graduated.
We,
So we have listed it both ways here with different jobs, degree plus X years or an equivalent number of years, whatever that might be.
Yeah.
Because you are exactly right. I've found in some fields, particularly in the construction industry, there are folks who've been in the industry for 20 years who don't have a degree that
Oh, yeah,
may be much better than somebody who graduated with a degree that has 5 years experience. So
yeah.
I mean, it gives you the balance, the flexibility to pick. But the reason I'm asking it, though, that starts to go to the market analysis of where the salary should be to be competitive, to draw somebody in this day and age. And you,
What I was thinking is the students that graduate with a master's in urban planning, they work for city government. They get between, and Marta, you probably know as well or better than I, somewhere between mid 40s and mid 60s. But those jobs come with incredible benefits.
Yeah.
Those jobs come with and that's really what we're competing against in my view. Because what I would like to find is someone who's on a trajectory to launch a career, right? Whether that's someone who's transitioning from, construction management for, and into planning, or someone who's just graduating with a planning degree, or someone with nonprofit management degree. And, so that was my comparable in my head. Like, what are my students getting? And I honestly think that we're at 50,000 with with where they're paying insurance out of pocket. We're at the low end of that.
and no retirement benefit.
Yeah, no other benefits at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you need to check into that. I'm not an HR person, but I think that, yeah, there might be some retirement responsibilities. I'm just going by the Greenway. I don't know. So, okay, bottom line here, do we have a personnel committee? And if not, couldn't we make the executive committee the personnel committee?
Yeah, so we tried to form a hiring committee. The reason that this is so disheveled is because we formed a hiring committee and I asked for them to meet and they never met. Part of the issue there is that Deb Wise has been traveling a lot and she's actually stepping down from the board. And yeah, so it was part of that getting lost in the shuffle. But so yeah, I would like to empower the executive committee to make a decision about the candidate, because I would like to have someone hired within the next couple of weeks. And I'm just losing my mind over here, to be honest.
Yep.
You said candidate like you have somebody that's applied?
Oh yeah, we have one applicant. I can circulate the CV and
Yeah,
So-
is that called burying the lead?
So
yeah, I guess.
It absolutely is called burying the lead.
So let me ask this though, John. So we've posted, advertised, somebody's applied. under the guise of what was listed on the website for the job description,
Uh-huh.
we have minimum quals that require no degree, no preferred qualifications. I thought we had both minimum and preferred, maybe we didn't. So they're applying out of that. There was no salary or benefits listed as to what they would get if they were hired, correct?
It is listed. So I'm looking at the website right now. Education and/or experience says executive professional experience and/or bachelor's degree required in business administration and community development, public administration, urban planning, or another related field. Master's degree preferred. The executive director must possess at least 3 years experience in business, nonprofit operational, financial management, or related areas. And then it says for compensation, it says annual salary range 35,000 to 45,000 per year, with the opportunity for growth, health insurance benefits negotiable.
Okay,
So that gives us the latitude, it sounds like to me, unless I'm hearing that wrong, is you could go to the high end, add the healthcare to it and go to 50. It just sounds like we're in compliant with
yeah,
what we posted. So there's no misunderstanding. If this person doesn't get hired or gets hired and doesn't, I just try to avoid some HR issue from the beginning.
Yeah. I think that, I edited that section right before posting it, and I should have looked it over before the meeting here, but that meets with what I had in the back of my head and what we've been discussing. The range of salary is 35 to 45 with insurance negotiable, and that list of qualifications. Do you want to discuss the candidate? Does that make sense at the moment?
No.
Can you
No. Okay.
do that on a board meeting?
No. Okay.
Okay.
And it says we're accepting applications to July 1st.
Yep. All right. So would the board be willing to authorize the executive committee to make an offer to a candidate on July 1st within the salary range described in the job posting?
I would say after July 1st, right? We're
Okay.
accepting up until July 1st.
So on or after, and somebody will do the background check. Who does the background check for us?
Last time we did it.
We
Oh,
don't
wait,
have an
no,
agency?
that's wrong. Heather dealt with a company that made sure that they
Right.
didn't have some sort of outstanding issue. But we contacted their previous employers and stuff.
So it seemed to me it'd be reasonable on or after July 1st, after reviewing the applicant pool and doing background checks, references, the executive committee can make a recommendation of hire. That sound reasonable?
mm-hmm.
Is it, okay, can we discuss that just for 1 second, Jim? Is there any way we can move from make a recommendation for hire to having the person starting to get their feet wet in the organization at that point?
Mean letting the executive committee.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about my timeline. I have
Yeah.
July to train someone, and then I start teaching in August. So,
And I actually stated that wrong because it's really the executive committee that's reviewing all this, doing the research, doing the reference checking and so forth. They're basically making a recommendation of hire and hiring
Yeah,
all in one fell swoop. Yeah. I'm
And
good with that. Yeah.
with providing that information to the board. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. But doesn't have to pause for our approval.
Yeah,
all right.
That gets you the expediency that you're looking for.
yeah. So Jim, are you making that motion?
I am.
Then I would second that.
Heather, did you get the motion?
Yes.
Okay. All those in favor, I'm going to do roll call. John, yes. Jason,
Yes.
Marta,
Yes,
Brad,
I,
Heather,
Yes.
Melanie,
Yes.
what else is on here?
Annette.
Annette.
Yes.
and Jim.
Right.
Yes.
Annette, thank you for sharing that information. I'll look into that. Oh, shoot, what did I just do? All right, are you all still there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
something funky just happened with my screen. Okay. Moving forward in the agenda here. All right, so let's just go through sort of our report outs. Acquisition and Disposition Committee didn't meet. We're restarting our auction, or we restarted our auction on the 1st. We'll go through our A&D process. We'll close the auction at the end of the month and have an A&D meeting early in July. I have, with regard to the deed sale, I've reached out to Habitat, Pathstone, and Urban Light to see if there were any properties that they wanted us to purchase in the deed sale on their behalf. And I haven't heard anything back yet. Does anybody else have anything to add to our strategy with regard to the deed sale?
When is the deed sale?
29th.
June 29th?
Yep.
Is that the same thing as what they used to call the sheriff's sale, where it's,
John, did you get my email about a developer in the Old West End?
No, no, what's up?
So I got a guy that needs 100 units. He's got 36 right now. He wants, I guess that would be 64 more in the same area, 06, which is the census tract, over here.
Mhm.
I've been trying to compile a list of vacant lots in the area, but honestly, without building blocks, I was able to tap Kyle, who was able to provide me with a list and a map of vacant properties yesterday. So I'm going to go through it and weed out the ones I personally know that aren't going to sell or fly or be available. But I believe the land bank has some lots over here, and that EXH Capital Partners has a few, but they're not doing anything with it. If there's a way that we could coordinate, some of these acquisitions towards this person, I think would work.
EXH does have some of those listed for sale. I can send you the list.
Because he wants to build new units.
100 new units?
He's got 36, so he wants to build another 64 units.
What's his price range?
He didn't say. He's done the 24 of the 36 completely out of his pocket and investors' pockets. So he's not using federal action to do any type of affordable housing. It's all market rate at the end of it.
Well, one of the challenges that I'm finding is just compiling a list of all of the different entities, portfolios of abandoned property. So MRC, the stuff that's going through the deed sale.
Well, that's the other thing. The MRC has several properties over here too that we could probably easily get through them to try to get to him. If he, we don't need 64 lots. We just need enough lots to produce 64 housing units. You see what I'm saying? So if you can build 2 units on every lot, you only need 32 lots, 3 units.
Is there any board action that you need to pursue this, Brad?
No, I don't think it's a voting action so much unless some of these lots are available in the deed sale, but I highly doubt it. Most of the time, I've been through so many deed sales, the commissioners don't even put them on there anymore.
Well, all right.
Makes investment in a neighborhood like this insanely difficult for anyone, right? If the county's not even offering up these lots for sale, how does anyone get them?
Great question.
Yeah.
So do you want to continue to discuss what we can do to facilitate this transaction? You know, maybe at our A&D committee in July, or even between now and then, just, you know, casually?
Yeah, I think sooner rather than later, because I'm going to probably have the list compiled in the next couple of hours, and then I'm going to send it to him. And if he needs help in acquisition, I think we should help him.
Yep.
And,
With all of the extra capacity that we have, we will devote 100% of that to.
sweet. Well, I'll see when I send him the list. I will CC you, John.
All right. Sounds good. So other important item of
Thank you.
discussion with acquisition and disposition committee is that we have closed on more than half of the properties that we've sold. And we, as of, I guess, what day was that? Melanie and I went down and sat in the building commissioner's office, and we got all of our releases. So all of the properties are clear and ready for closing. So, you know, we have sold 22 properties, and we've closed on more than half of them, and we're getting close to closing on the rest. And I think that I think that actually now would be a good time, and maybe Jason, this is something that'll come up later. Now is a good time to start to tell that story. Matt has been photographing all of our closings. There are several buyers who have interesting stories about what they have been doing or are going to do with the property. Matt is going to be writing that up. And maybe one of the first tasks of our new executive director would be to you know, do a little campaign explaining what we've done over the past 6 months. Because you know, I think it's a significant accomplishment.
Yeah.
And it could set us up to have more success in the same vein.
So first off, good job. Thank you. The write-up that Matt does, is that then planned to go on to like something like Muncie?
You're cutting out,
Journal?
Brad.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I'm
You said
breaking up.
Muncie Journal?
Sorry, my internet's slow. Yeah, is that write-up that Matt's doing planned on going to Muncie Journal?
We can. What Matt and I can work on is developing kind of a content calendar. Matt's already got a content calendar put together. So the idea is that we'll have planned posts every week, couple of weeks, but we could also make sure we're reaching out to Muncie Journal to tell the story, maybe compile a couple of the stories into one.
Right. And Corey Olekamp said that once we start doing this, to get a hold of him, he'd write an article for the press.
Yeah, a lot. The last month has been website work and shipping to the new website. So.
Oh, that's another big announcement. I don't know. It seems like we've kind of done acquisition and disposition. Maybe we can just do public outreach and marketing now. Jason, do you want to? I mean, first of all, I'll just say, Heather's brother has done a fantastic job. He created a wonderful website that we launched. What, the 2nd or 3rd of June?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's been a big transition. It's something we've been working on for quite a few months, and the software that Justin built for us to be able, or for anyone to be able to go to the website, look at a map that has a little house on it where the property is available and for sale, click on it and begin that bidding process. It's something that we've been building for quite a few months. And now what we're trying to do is get it to where Matt is able to edit things on an as needed basis, and making sure that it's up to date and we can add those stories, we can, add whatever we need to add, but it's looking better and better, and we're getting there.
The big increased functionality of the website is that it does a lot of the functions of the auction automatically. So if someone makes a bid, the bid is reflected. All the properties are mapped with, so the bidding happens through a property list that shows the geography of where the properties are located. And the next level of functionality, what Justin's going to be working on next is whenever someone bids, so when you bid, there's a form that pops up that has a bunch of required fields. So like those, we have things that we require people submit with their bids, and you just physically can't submit the bid unless you fill out the fields correctly. So that's going to cut down a ton of staff time chasing after people, asking them for this and that and the other thing. So that we've accomplished that, but what's coming next is that we'll be able to send response emails directly to the bidder saying that their bid was received, and providing them more information about next steps and updates and reminders about as we go through the process. But yeah, we're going to see it, I think, on whenever our auction closes at the end of this month, we're going to see the fruits of this labor.
So we're using that app right now to be able for folks to bid.
Yep.
How do you bid?
Are you looking at the website right now?
Yeah, it won't let me put in a date or amount. Do I have to sign in?
No.
You click place bid, and then you start to fill out the forms.
Oh, I see.
You see that?
I see it. Look, the way the format, I'll tell you what, intuitively, like click on that house, just click on one of these houses.
Okay.
Yeah, like that one, just click on it. And then intuitively, it makes me think I fill out date and amount and then hit place bid.
Oh, yeah.
See, that's what I was sitting here trying to do. Sorry. I get
Yeah.
it. Nope, I get it.
So then there's all the forms
and then
right
the
there.
form is where you put
Yeah,
those down.
yeah. I like that. Okay. I just think that maybe the first little window probably needs to not have those spaces. There's
All right, so
seemingly
what I
no
would
use for
suggest
them, right?
is that anybody who has, if we have comments about the website, Justin's going to be working on a revision, and you can provide those, at any time, and I'll pass them along.
Brad, I think the reason why that's confusing is that there isn't already a bid on that property.
can't-
So if there was a bid, then you would see that
Yeah.
somebody placed a bid for $500 on June 17th, and then you would know that you have to bid higher than that.
Yeah.
Ah,
That'll be the list of the current bid and the date that it was bid.
So maybe we could just ask him to put a 0 there.
yeah. Default to
would-
the day of the date and 0 until there's an actual bid.
All right, and all of you, I mean, if you want to play around, and see where the rough edges are, I've done, a fair amount of that. But we're going to be working with Justin on another set of revisions in the near future here. All right, anything else from on public outreach, marketing, and communications? Jane, or Justin? I call you Jane.
Jason,
Jason,
third time's a charm.
yeah.
No, that's it's been the website, and getting all that going. And I've communicated with Matt recently, and you know, he's getting connected to Justin in the website, and so we're working on just making sure that's all ready to go and updated and everything like that. So, but we will now start to move forward with the more content, you know, sharing some of our success stories and getting that information out there. So that's it.
While you're up, Justin, did we hear anything from George about, excuse me?
I'm not Justin.
Oh, I'm sorry. Jason, did you hear anything from George about the change to our insurance?
Yeah. So I met with David George and got everything worked out for our insurance. And we had some invoices to pay for that I forwarded to Melanie. Now, the next thing I need to do is what we have to continue to do is update him with kind of a list. The insurance company doesn't want every time, like one property at a time. So what we need to do on a regular basis is send them new properties and properties that we've sold on a regular basis in a group to make sure that we're just continuously keeping that insurance updated. So I'm going to be working with him on that. And you said that on Box, there's the list of properties in that Excel or that spreadsheet. That's what I'll refer to.
Yep, that's and you can see it lists whether the property is currently owned or sold. And those are going to be the ones that those are the two categories that you're looking at.
Okay.
I'm glad to hear that, Jason. I haven't been thinking about that. I'm glad you have. All right, Heather and me, anything on fundraising?
I think the only thing I wanted to mention is that we will keep abreast of any information that's coming out from the United Way about the ARP funding for nonprofits. Other than that, I don't have any other updates.
We received $25,000 from Community Foundation in the last month. Was pretty shortly after our board meeting, but that's I applied for 35. They gave us 25, so that's better than we typically do.
John, what were the stipulations for that grant? Was it for can we use it for salary for
Yeah, it's
admin?
administrative.
Awesome, thank you.
And another question that I think that we need to ask ourselves with regard to the ARP funding is, it's not in the immediate term, but some of that money is going to be going to neighborhoods, and we might want to try to, you know, whenever we have staff, go to the neighborhood leadership council meetings and see if there are ways that the land bank can help with projects that neighbors are putting together to apply for ARP funds. So if
I can be that representative from the land bank to keep us abreast of any opportunities.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Heather. All right. And I'm going to move along to the privilege of the floor. Does anybody need to say anything else that we're missing here? All right. I would like, you know, just as a final thought, if you're ever interested in seeing what it's like to sit in a windowless office for 10 hours straight, come on down to CoLab. We could hang out. Anybody wants to join me?
Do you want us to paint a mural on the wall that looks like you're looking outside?
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I might know a mural artist.
Yeah.
We got to have a tear streaming down the eye, though, right? I'm not actually looking outside. All right. Thank you very much for your participation.
I think Brad has something.
What's that?
Brad keeps saying,
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, I'm sorry, just real quick, Deb resigned, so are we gonna like put together a couple of folks that we'd like the mayor to maybe appoint?
I think that that's a good idea, Brad. And I had thought about mentioning that if you have ideas for a new board member that you'd like for me to share with the mayor, I would be happy to do that. I'm going to reach out to the mayor and see if we can get, if we can have a discussion about that board seat. So I'm going to be doing that next week. So why don't we, if you could get it to me by 5 p.m. on Monday? Does that work? If you have ideas for the vacant board seat, let me know.
Hey, John, would you
Yeah.
email Deb and see if she has any ideas too? Because she might know of folks that would be a good replacement for herself.
I'm having an exit interview with Deb next week.
Perfect.
If anybody else wants to sit in on that with me, I can loop you in. Just let me know.
So this appointee cannot be on another major board, right? City council or
They could be.
what
a
are the
city council
restrictions?
member. I don't believe that there are restrictions with regard to service on other boards.
Okay.
Well, I think that any board that's funding us, there might be, right? Isn't that why Isaac stepped down? Was because he moved to the MRC?
Yeah, he would. I don't
Because
know.
if that's not going to be a conflict, I would suggest Jeff
Who?
now.
You cut out.
Yeah,
I know
Oh,
who
I'm
you
sorry,
mentioned.
my internet's
Robinson,
junk
I'm not
tonight.
sure.
That's a good idea. I think I know who you mentioned. That's a good idea if you'd be willing to do it.
I didn't hear what you said, Brad, but I had a question about, is there any particular area of expertise that we feel like we're lacking on the board? Like maybe, someone in banking or, some other specific area that would be helpful?
yeah.
And that, I don't know if you remember, but we've worked to get a banker on the board in the past, but I'm willing to go down that road again if you have someone in mind.
No, I was not necessarily even saying that that's an area, but I'm just saying, I think that we need to think about what particular area,
Experience, yeah.
that someone with a particular experience that we might be looking for that would be helpful.
I think that Deb's experience as a for-profit developer was actually very helpful.
Yeah, it was.
So do you think that in lieu of going to the mayor with a list of names, we go to the mayor and say, we would like someone who kind of fits into a Deb-like profile?
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be an either or. You could, if we do come up with names, like Deb may have something, then that could be provided along with the information that we would like someone to fill sort of the niche that Deb did. It doesn't have, do both.
Well, there's a couple other, so I guess I asked for names by 5 on Monday. If you have any thoughts about for-profit developers who might be willing to serve, that would be one category that would be useful to me, because I'd have to look into it to find those people. The other thing that I was thinking is that, maybe Brad, you can weigh in on this. It seems like there's a lot of activity going on with abandoned property and community development these days, and Zane is doing a lot. And sometimes I worry about the coordination there. Do you think that asking Zane to serve might be a good idea to get some more coordination around the MRC's programming and what we're doing?
Zane to serve on the actual MLB board.
Yeah.
If he does that, he'd have to resign from the Board of Zoning Appeals.
Why?
statutory requirement,
Oh, okay, with the BZA, got it.
right?
Thank- Not on our end, got it.
No,
Okay, so that's a no. All right, well, if you have other thoughts, please send me an email. And I will, I appreciate your time today, and
oh, gotta go.
yep, it's 10 o'clock.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. If anyone wants to
Thanks,
stick around and
bye.
chat a little bit more, motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
All right, there we
All in
go.
favor? Aye.
Bye.
Have a good weekend.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy
Happy
Father's Day.
Father's Day.
Thanks, Jason. You're gonna throw that out?
Yeah, I'm gonna pause it, and I think